What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Spike NFC North podcast. As always, my name is Lex, and I'm representing the Green Bay Packers, and it's a beautiful thing. We got NFL football back. We got an amazing preseason week 2 show coming up for you guys. But without further ado, I got to bring in one of my most esteemed guests on the show. Notice we got the Chicago Bear Orange. I'm going to bring in my boy, Mr. Levon Lane.
Yes, sir.
What's up, brother? How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Just enjoying the moment. Hey, it's football season. Hey, we just got through talking about watching the preseason game number 2. I'm excited about, just what we have in store for both teams and our conference, division rather. So, man, I'm excited to really talk about it, get some stuff off my chest. I'm sure you do too.
I got a lot of things to say. Well, hey, man, let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start it off with a spike, bro.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, boys. Let's get it.
Yes,
okay. So first things first, we had some things that came up. So we had some releases from the NFL. The Packers dropped their rivalry uniforms. At least a couple teams dropped the rivalry uniform setups. I have thoughts, but without further ado, let's check out what we got going from Green Bay. Bow. Okay, so here it is. This is the Packers rivalry uniform. Now, to be fair, when I initially saw like the tease for it, I thought it was going to be like a gold thing, and I really didn't want to see like a gold jersey. I think it's just too distracting. It looks too much like that Steelers bullshit that they wore last season. But I'm absolutely excited to see how this is going to go. I love the old style font. Obviously, my boy Jay Love, but my favorite detail of this particular uniform thing, and I think I mentioned this last season on the show, is the gold stripe in between the two green on the helmet. Because I said it like, dude, our whiteout uniforms are reputable as fuck. I think they're cool, but I really think they're missing just like that one gold accent. I also feel like these uniforms would have something that like stylistically we would have run during the Lambeau era, So I mean, like I like it, man. To be real with you, I'm actually kind of absolutely surprised that they balance the colors effectively. Levon, do you have any thoughts, man? I know you hate Green Bay, but like, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Oh yeah, I hate Green Bay, and along with other folks. But anyway. No, man, that's actually a nice color scheme you got going on. I really do like the fonts on the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That is really nice. Who came up with that?
I don't know, but I fuck with it. I absolutely fuck with it.
I mean, look at the number font on your jersey and look at that font. I would actually go with this new one, honestly, even though.
I mean, dude, you can't change classic things. I mean, like, obviously, we're used to the standard block letter. I'm ready to throw back Jair Alexander jersey, but, it's different. But I also like the gold border that they added on those numbers. I think it adds a nice touch. Yeah. But my main concern with this, and I'll say this and we'll move on to yours, as I think the last time the Packers wore some crazy jerseys last season, Tucker Kraft tore his ACL. And then we lost that game. It was not a good fucking day. It was not a fucking good day. So I'm hoping that what we got going on with these new setups are a little bit more conducive to positive football play from the Green Bay Packers. All right.
I got one.
Go for it. Yeah.
I had a pro and a con. All right. Now, the opposite side is what's that? That it looked like Boston College almost.
It's Green Bay.
I know. I see the GB.
It's different though. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where that actually came from.
It don't look like Baylor or Boston.
No, it doesn't. It's something new. Okay. And you know what? I'll embrace it. I think that like, I'm all for because this is kind of like a good retro modern hybrid thing. Yeah, and like I said, it's actually very tastefully done. I'm actually absolutely excited about it. Like I said, I'm hoping the Packers don't really have a good track record with when we pull out special uniforms and shit of playing awesome ass football, at least in the most recent years. But I'm excited to that, dude. So with that being said, there's my boy Jay Love looking bad, my boy Pookie, and him and Edrin Cooper. I'm really excited to see both these players, but we'll get more into the games later, dude. But with that being said, let's move on to the Bears rivalry uniform reaction. And Levon, you're shaking your head. Before I show it, do you want to preface anything, or you want me to just throw it up on the screen, dude?
Throw it up on the screen, bro.
Let me throw it up on the screen. All right, here we go. And we got the rivalry Bears uniforms, dude. Mr. Zesty Caleb Williams himself, a.k.a. Iceman. Levon, you're a native of Southside Chicago. What are your thoughts, man?
Let me tell you something. I love the uniforms. I'll get to that later. Mm-hmm. But the background, that's too much orange.
I mean, that's what it was. I mean, so let me ask you this. This shade of orange looks a little bit different, to be honest with you. Is it a little bit more like saturated? Because I
Yeah.
feel like the regular Bears orange is a little bit more mild by comparison. And I don't know like exactly what they're going for here. But like you said, I do think that the backdrop doesn't do this thing any favors. I think they would have really benefited from either a white or a darker navy to kind of accentuate the colors. What are your thoughts?
Our dominant color is blue.
Okay.
So I honestly, since he has a blue jersey on,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with just like you are. I'd probably go with a white background.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It would accentuate,
Yeah.
especially with the numbers outlined too.
Yeah. But other than that, I like the stripes, the normal stripes on the side. That's the traditional stripes.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't show it in this photo, but do they have the GSH on the shoulder?
Yes,
they do.
Right,
okay.
It's on his left shoulder.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, and so the number, it's old school, like 1940s type number.
Mm-hmm.
The orange pants, it kind of remind me high school.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Callaway High School, in Jackson. It's just the background threw me off, man. It was
so you think it's like the presentation just didn't hit for you?
Yeah, it didn't hit.
Okay,
Now,
gotcha.
the actual jersey and stuff look good, but it just the background is just because when I saw the video when they was actually presented to the players,
mm-hmm.
and the players loved it. And when I saw it, like individual pictures, I
mm-hmm.
loved it. However, when I saw that background, I was like, hey, it's just too much orange.
Okay. I totally get it, man. And dude, I think that like when you're going with something that's supposed to be like a modern reiteration of an iconic legacy, you absolutely have to have the right interpretation, especially in your initial reveal. That's one thing about the Packers uniforms that we just shown. I thought it was going to be gold, and I was pleasantly surprised. And I think with this, it was a little bit, it's kind of typical. I mean, the Bears, dude, when you guys wear your blues, you guys wear what? White shorts? Is that what it is? White, yeah. So, I mean, the orange is definitely going to take some getting used to, but there are going to be benefits as far as seeing your receivers downfield, especially with that fluorescent orange.
That's true.
So this could be a strategic thing that they went with. I mean, and that goes neither here nor there. I mean, especially with, how, tumultuous our two teams go head to head with each other. I mean, that's just something that comes with the territory. You know what I mean? But you got any final thoughts, man, before we move on to our preseason games?
No, let's keep this party rolling, Doc.
All right, dude, we're going to keep this party rolling now. So with that being said, dude, Levon, let's have a conversation, my friend. Let's have a conversation, bro, because obviously you won the NFC North last season. I didn't win the NFC North last season, but all of our teams are over 500. Mm-hmm. So we have a huge uphill battle coming on with, obviously all of us trying to regain control of a lot of things that we got going on. So, I mean, that's something to be said about, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'm so sorry, guys. Call you back live. All right, sorry guys. There's something to be said, also about, the status that both of our teams have, especially with us being in the NFC North. There's a lot of upward hill things that we got going on. You know what I mean? And with that being said, there's just a whole bunch of things that kind of come with. I'm sorry for the noise. There's a whole bunch of things that just come with, our legacies and stuff. So let's go into the preseason game because this week the Packers played the Denver Broncos and we won 33-13. Sorry for the noise. We won 33-13. Last season, we had one of the worst games that we've ever had against the Denver Broncos. We had a bunch of injuries. I think that was the game Micah Parsons went down. We just had an absolute fuckery. But this game in particular, we came up and we did pretty much solid. You know what I mean? And I'm overall absolutely proud of what I saw because compared to week one of the preseason, Week one was absolutely lackluster. Love came out. He had a couple of good moments, In this particular game, Love came out 5 for 7, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a couple of good passes to Matthew Golden, which is a receiver I'm really excited to see coming along because I really think that he's got some things brewing. And I also don't think we've seen the final form of what this offense is going to look like, week one of the actual season. But in this particular game, one of the things that I hated to see was a fumble from Christian Watson. And Christian Watson is also one of those receivers that he can kill you. He can get down the field quick. He can just cut and burn cornerbacks left and right, But obviously this one, I think it was a slant across the middle. Watson caught it on the right hash, and there was some contact, and he fell, and he dropped it out. Now, I mean, obviously Watson came back and he had some clutch plays later in the game. But I seriously think that, that bond is going to be a pivotal force for this Green Bay offense moving forward this season. Now, another thing I saw was Marshawn Lloyd running the damn football. He had a reception touchdown. He looks healthy. He took a couple of hits. Hell, Watson took a huge hit from Pat Surtain getting rocked out of that left sideline. And it was a fucking hit that, like, you heard it on the TV speakers. It was absolutely almost violent. But, you know, he got right back up, which is another thing I see. I think that Watson's kind of working on his durability a little bit. I don't know if that has to do with the new scheme or what his, you know, PT regime is, but I'm starting to see positive things going on, you know, and I love to see that. But one of my biggest concerns about the Green Bay Packers, and I'll end this with a positive light. We'll watch a play from it. One of my biggest concerns is Tyrod Taylor as their backup quarterback. He obviously had some clutch rushes out of the pocket, excuse me. But as far as the passing scenario, dude went 4 for 8 for 17 yards. That's just not a very positive outlook. I don't remember which team of the Denver defense was in. I don't know if it was first team or second string. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I'll go back and look at that later on, and I can address that in a later video. But I'm concerned because our third string guy, Kyle McCord, came in that bitch, and he went 12 for 19 for 118 yards. Now, he didn't score any touchdowns, but he also didn't throw any picks. So as far as, like, you know, what we're going to be looking at from our backup QB situation with Tyrod Taylor and Kyle McCord, I don't know who's going to be number 2. And, you know, Tyrod Taylor is one of those quarterbacks. He's been in the league for a while. You know this.
Hope Love stay healthy.
Yes, please stay healthy. Please. Honestly, I'm open to interpretation. I can see that there could be some positive things going on there. But overall, I'm very, very, very happy with the things I'm seeing from everyone except for Tyrod Taylor. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm not sure if that's, you know, maybe LaFleur is kind of scheming it up a little bit differently. Maybe Stenavich is kind of still trying to tweak how he wants to use him. But I'm seeing this, like, delayed play action thing. He's scrambling way too much. He's not making quick reads. His footwork seems to stumble, especially on the 3rd and 4th step out of the pocket. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it's something developed, but for him to be, you know, 36, 37 years old, maybe even 38, I feel like he should just be a little bit more sound, especially looking at how Malik Willis grew once he came into this offense from Tennessee, you know. Obviously, he's in Miami, which is a whole other conversation we might have later in the show. But what I want to see is for Matt LaFleur to really cook with this guy and bring out, you know, the meat and potatoes of this guy's entree. You know, I want to see his skill set on display. Because so far, you know, he had a couple of good rushes. Sure. He had a couple of, I think rushing yards. He had what? He had a total of 2 rushing yards, but they were clutch as far as bringing the ball back to where it needed to be. But I just don't know exactly off the top of my head if Jordan Love, God forbid Jordan Love gets hurt. I don't know if I want Tyrod Taylor coming up or Kyle McCord. But one of the highlights of the game, and this is kind of something that kind of goes without saying, as a Packers fan, we have absolutely been plagued by special teams. And that's something that, like, has always fucking bothered us. Whether it's the kicker missing field goals, people not catching onside kicks and losing playoff games. Talking to you, Dobbs. You know what I mean? But, I mean, there's just a lot of things going on. But our new defensive coordinator, Cam Acord, God, I love this man. He's like an unhinged country backwards boy, and he just talks fucking ball. He's about it. In his press conference right before the first preseason game, motherfucker got down from the podium and started showing about how kickers catch balls and set up for kicks. I'm like, that's what we need. We need the fire. He's always screaming on the sideline. He's always holding his players accountable. And because of that, my motherfucker Pierre Strong had a beautiful kick return. And before I show this play, I want to add that I think that's super special, is because this aspect of play from a defensive player or like a returner is exactly what got Keyshawn Nixon on the map for you know, his kick returns how it used to be 2 or 3 years ago. So let's check this out, man. This is a punt return from my boy Pierre Strong. Let's check it out. I think it's just beautiful because, you know, as a Packers fan, we've been plagued with a lot of these issues, and I think the number one thing that we need to work on is kick returns. So let's check this out, Levon.
Changes the eyes of defenders. And how about that? They have a touchdown drive, and both the receivers are saying, hey, what can we get better?
Here's Pierre Strong on the kick return. Has some daylight. Sideline beats Seahawks 40, 35, and just shy of the Denver 30.
That right there, that kick return is fucking everything for me. Because what I see is that, you know, we're faced with adversity. If we're dealing with things where, we're down 14 in the 4th quarter, we need a good turn to get back in there to, you know, get back in this ball game. He has that ability. Now, as far as what he was coached there, I can't say. I'm not a fucking football coach. I'm just a guy wearing a jersey, talking about a team I'm passionate about. But what I do see is a spark. And I think that Cam Acord is a huge part of that, man. So, but overall, in this Packers v. Broncos game, I saw a lot of things on offense that I liked. But as far as from a defensive standpoint, we had an interception I think on Jared Stidham, it was pretty typical. But Jared Stidham as a quarterback is kind of in a weird place because he's been in the league for a couple of years. I'm not sure if he's going to grow to ever earn a starting position on a team in the NFL. Maybe the Jets if Geno's trash, which he probably will be. But I just see a lot of good things, and I feel overall positive about it. Now, with that being said, Levon, did you get a chance to peep our game?
No, I didn't get. I just saw.
You just saw some highlights, man, dude. I mean, as far as from week 1 of preseason to week 2, and obviously you have to carry this with a grain of salt. I really like what I'm seeing. I'm starting to see them edge out, and J Love is quick. He had a tutty to fucking who had a tutty? Oh, he had a tutty to Lloyd, Marshawn Lloyd, which is another huge thing. I think it's going to be huge. So I feel good about it, man. And I think that it's one of those things too, where if you're really going to go down to the nitty gritty, bro, you honestly just got to love the incremental progress changes. And again, this is preseason. You can't hold these things with a grain of salt. But one last tidbit is Jagger Burton, excuse me. I left guard, fucking love it. Fucking love it. He was manhandling motherfuckers. That shit was awesome, and especially with, the whole Aaron Banks situation, which I'm pretty sure he had some offseason surgery that's going to render him useless throughout the season. I think that our rookie, Jagger Burton, might be our starting left guard, and which means that our right guard is going to be interesting. And O-line has always been a concern, especially as far as depth is concerned, but I think that things are trending upward for the Green Bay Packers. Now, with that being said, dude, let's go ahead and let's move on to this. Levon, how did you feel about the Chicago Bears game this past week, man?
Man, let me tell you something. I was surprised that Caleb started, and I'm glad he did start to, get the operational stuff down to make sure. Let's see how he looked with the, some of the first team guys out there. So that first drive, it looked pretty positive. And, he went 2 for 5. He, for what was it, 28 yards.
Hey, yo, shout out Corey Thompson in the chat. Well, I see you, Papa.
Oh, what up, Papa?
I see you, boy.
Sir.
What's up, Corey? Appreciate you tuning in, brother. We're going to have you on next week, bro. We're going to be locked and loaded. But go ahead, Levon. I'm sorry.
All right. But, before I get started into that, I want you to see these plays. So, by what Caleb did.
Let's see it.
In the operational side. So, this is just the second year in the system of Ben Johnson. So I want you to see, especially that second play. The first play was a run play. The second play is exactly the operational stuff looked well. And I want him to put that together on a consistent basis. Here we go.
Let's check it out, man. And honestly, this looks very familiar. That's all I'm going to say. Let's check it out.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Up a knee injury last Sunday in practice.
Together, and you're right.
Look at him. Comes back in the pocket. Rolls left. That jumping pass. That jumping off that pass, bro, to Odunze. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good things. Levon, what are your thoughts when you see that?
So when I see that, I'm looking at the offensive line first. And they got off the block good. The blocking scheme was good. The fake was good. Not just the fake on Caleb, the fake by Roshan by the running back. But you see, when you look at the play, you actually see Rome Odunze, he creeping as if he was going to block. And
let's watch it again. Let me see exactly what we're talking about. I kind of want to see that. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. So we got just a smidge more. Okay, let's see what we got.
Kyle Monungai unavailable. Picked up a knee injury last Sunday in practice.
Together, and you're right.
So we got, All right, so here we go.
So look, run right here.
This looks like a run straight up to the right hash. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Fullback action.
That creep, and then that cut. You saw that cut up at the top right here?
Yep.
That cut was fire. Okay.
Rolling out to the left, and he just went off. Williams throws on the run, complete to Dunze.
Beautiful play.
Easy throw, 15 yards. Hey, let's keep the party rolling. But here's the funny part. We didn't do it with Swift. We didn't do it with Monungai. Imagine them guys getting there. That 1-2 punch. Get in there. But I want to see the operational stuff like that look smooth. It wasn't you didn't have to read a defense on that, because if you looked at that play, the linebackers, they played the run. We actually have a top 5 running offense for a reason. So I respect that. Hey, I'm going to play the run. So yes. So what got me against the Bengals, man, was the undisciplined part of it.
Which aspect are you talking about in particular?
Penalties.
Okay, gotcha.
We had 11 penalties. I'm talking about procedural penalties, just stuff that's you mentally just not into the game.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And we know half these guys not going to be on the team. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man?
You know, it's auditions at this point.
Yeah. So another thing that got me is the fact that when you think of consistency, you know, and trying to be effective and continuing drives, you have to be consistent on third downs.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we was 2 for 14.
Y'all were 2 for 14 on third down, brother.
Third down.
You know, it's funny. Y'all suck on third down. We're goated on third down. I don't know how the fuck that works out, but I mean, hey, it's just one of those things.
And that's why we go for it so much on fourth down.
Yeah, I mean that's just a typical aggressiveness. That comes from Detroit and being with old buddy, fuck Dan Campbell. Yeah. Shout out to Corey Thompson in the chat, bro. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. So overall, the game we lost 27-9, and basically we trying to see it's competition. We trying to see who we got a lot of players injured, so we trying to see who's gonna plug and play until our guys get healthy. So, you know, I always love watching my team, but you know we got to clean up some stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, so that's just my take on it.
Yeah, man. And dude, like I said, like we addressed it previously, like, dude, the legacy of these two football teams, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, Indiana Bears. You know, it's it's one of those things where, bro, like I said, we have a tumultuous relationship as franchises, but dude, I don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. Yeah. And I really think that let's segue into that, dude, because I think that as far as where we are right now, dude, is this the worst NFL season for injuries to date? I mean,
so far,
let me rattle off the injuries from this week alone.
Yeah,
we got Ashton Ginty with a fucking with a sprained ankle, Sam Laporta with a hip injury. We got Jordan Tyson, rookie receiver, with a hamstring from the Saints, and then the Seattle Seahawks lost Bud Clark, who's a safety, to a broken ankle, and then Mason fucking Richmond to a long-term leg injury. So two of their huge draft picks already out for the season. Already on the physically unable to perform list. That's a huge blow to anybody's team's mantra. Like that's a huge thing. Moving on further, Breece Hall, running back from the Jets, and the Jets are already in a tumultuous situation with Aaron Glenn as head coach. That's a whole different conversation, which we'll dive into later. Jeremiah Love, the hotshot running back from the Cardinals, is also hurt with a high ankle sprain. Yes, Carson Beck actually did a great job in the Hall of Fame game for the Arizona Cardinals, is also out with a rib injury. Maybe he'll be ready by week 1. And then on top of that, Jaden Higgins, wide receiver from the Texans, out for the season, torn ACL. Is this the turf that we're rolling back on? Or we talked about this last week on the show, but I feel like we've been just redoing the same shit over and over again. And if year to date, the injuries are going to continue at this frequency, we don't even know what these rosters are going to look like on playoff time.
And here's the thing: we didn't even talk about NFC North teams like that.
We didn't, yeah.
And think about it: we just signed Kobe Bryant from the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, and he out into probably playoffs if we make it.
Dude, it's just bad luck, man. And I don't even know what the fuck else to even go into. It's just bad fucking luck. Yeah. And this makes me wonder, like, dude, is this gonna ever not be a problem? I don't understand, dude. Like, because especially when like our teams have so much to prove, especially with our division basically whooping ass last year. I think we were all over 500. That's something that, like, dude, having your key players in positions where they can actually make a difference in football games is half of the game. And unfortunately, that's all up to the draw. And, you know, if we're really looking at it, dude, I want to say that it has to do with the style of play. You know, we used to have these big stocky guys. We used to have these big fullbacks running in. And now it's all like twitch speedy guys. Do you think that it could be the turf and the reaction of the cleats, you know, locking in that's causing all these ACLs? I mean, hell, we've had players getting hurt off of fucking day one OTAs with no pads on. I don't know if that is.
I say it like this. It's a multitude of things. I just want to put it on just the cleats or it's a multitude of things. Let me. I'll say it like this. One of the reasons it can be, maybe it's the player's lack of training.
Could be.
All right. That's one. Maybe it's the turf. Maybe it's how he planted. Maybe did he get hit on a certain play? Because some people get hit. It can be friendly fire, or it can be like a real friendly good hit.
Fire. I like that. I like that. That's catchy. That's catchy right there. I like that.
So it can be a multitude of things when it comes to injury like that. But here's the funny part. I'm speaking from the defense, from the Bears side of it. Most of our injuries came from one-on-one drills.
You know, and that's interesting, dude. Do you think that has to do with the testament of the player, or do you think it has to do with the setup of the exercise?
I think so. I think it's a testament of the player, but you got to give some of these players credit as well, because when they have injury, you think longevity, like, wow, they're gonna be out for 6-9 months. However, some of these players work their tail off so hard, they come back before the actual scheduled date, and they actually love the game so much that they ready to help their team. For instance, I got a player on the Bears. He's our nickelback. His name Kyler Gordon. This man played. This going to his 4th year, I believe. In the last 2 years, 2.5, maybe 3 years, he played 3 games.
That's insane. It sounds like Marshawn.
From
Not even
soft
Marshawn
tissue injury. I'm like, how long are you gonna have a soft tissue injury? And here's the thing: none of our coaches are talking about it. They don't want to talk about it.
That's insane.
He just got extended.
For how much? What was that contract look like?
Oh man, I think it was like 3. I'm probably misquoted. I ain't gonna look it up right now, but I'm thinking it was like 3 years, $40 million.
That's still a substantial amount of cap space.
Yeah,
that's a substantial amount of cap space.
He signed it last year, going into the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, guess how many games we got him for? 3.
Was that early in the season? I'm guessing.
No, it was late when we played y'all.
Oh, damn! I don't want to speak of that. We're not talking.
Jordan Love. No, he showed some good signs of him, but you could tell he wasn't in shape.
Yeah, I feel that.
And yeah. So
that's
the thing. That's the thing with these injuries. It's not even really the concussions no more.
Mm.
Do you know? It's ACL, PCL, MCL, ankles, soft tissue like hammies. Growing. So yeah, man. So
it begs the question, dude. Like, do the basic medical standards of the NFL need to be evaluated, especially for all these soft tissue injuries, but also especially for these major injuries like ACLs, groins, pec rips, all this stuff. And like I said, this is the thing on the show. I'll talk shit to you as a Bears fan from Green Bay every fucking day of the week. But dude, I want our teams to be healthy when we play, so that when we win, I can feel confident that we won because we were the better football team. And dude, to be real, especially all the coaching changes and shit, I foresee this season not playing out according to plan. I mean, like, look at last season. Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, they were able to come through, and like, despite what was going on with them, Sam Darnold got his first fucking ring. And especially with these guys being on, no, bro, motherfucker's ball spin rate is insane. I've been watching Hard Knocks, and dude, he's actually coming off that 15-2 season in Minnesota, and then going off winning the Super Bowl in Seattle. He's obviously a force to be reckoned with, And I still wonder how that team is going to flare with the loss of Kenneth Walker, to the Kansas City Chiefs. But if I know anything about the fucking Seattle Seahawks and Mike McDonald, is they got some tricks up their sleeve, and I think he's one of those positive things in the head coach. Because I'll be real with you, dude. Like, the Seattle Seahawks on Hard Knocks is actually showing me a lot about the team chemistry that they have going on, and I think that they have a lot of chemistry going on, and I think that one of the things about that too is that, dude, I like the way that they're being portrayed by the media here. I think that, dude, the way that they're going about this entire thing, and they're showing the intricate things, like they have this thing called shadow boxing, where it's like and you have to like go against the guy. Dude, that's like the ultimate challenge. It's like walking up to the motherfucker with a deck of Pokemon cards and being like, "Bitch, let's battle." You know what I mean? It's like it's literally like a primal kind of childlike thing, but it's also building a lot of camaraderie. And to be real, I've gained a lot of insight through Hard Knocks. I think it's a huge insight, especially into how your teams operate. I know a lot of teams are on it every year, but if your team is blessed to be on that program, you learn a lot about the intricate things. And that's another thing why I think that, there's going to be issues with the Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll talk about once we get Kareem on the show soon. Shout out Kareem. But, there's just a lot of things that you can see, and a lot of vibrato that you can see from these coaches that kind of inspired you a little bit, dude. Have you had a chance to watch any of the Hard Knocks this season?
I have not watched any of it, but I've been paying attention to like the preseason and stuff like that. I haven't dove that deep into it. However, man, let me tell you, they got one humongous ring, Super Bowl ring.
Bro, their ring might be the most badass Super Bowl ring I've ever seen. Like, it has wings pop out the side. I'm like, bro, dude, it's so dope, man. But also, I will say that that's really fucking cool, because they're making the rings that these players are fighting for year after year worth winning. And I think that,
Absolutely.
yeah, dude. And I know you got your replica Bears ring from 1901. You know what I mean? But it's just, it's one of those things where, man, dude, you just gotta take it with a grain of salt, man. Mr. Corey Thompson, injury bug is active. Shake my head, brother. You're not lying, brother.
Yeah.
You're not lying at all, man.
Yeah.
And I did like Corey. Yo, also hope you like the new format of the show. We'll have you on soon. It's about to get on. You see, this season's gonna be lit. But man, like I said earlier in the show, I don't want to see any of these players kind of go down.
Oh no, we don't. And let me tell you something else.
What's up?
They head coach. He's a mastermind now.
Dude, he coached at the high school I went to freshman year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a Cedar Shoals High School coach. I think he was a running backs coach, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember because I switched to Central the year after he came into the coaching staff. But it's kind of crazy.
He low key becoming a mastermind. He wasn't an offensive coordinator on thing like that back in the day. I think he was a defensive mind.
I'll look it up. Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Reason why you looking it up? Why I was saying that is, man, a lot of his players, especially on the defensive side, you didn't really know too much about his players, but they rotated so well. Defensive line rotated.
It was seamless.
Yes, linebackers rotated, but they all fly.
He's a defensive guy.
Told you.
Mm-hmm.
And his schemes were amazing.
Yeah,
but he did have some. His secondary was crazy.
Yes, yeah, dude. And like I said, dude, health is going to play a part of that. I think that the Texans and the Seahawks are kind of on the up and up to be the top 1 and 2 defenses. Broncos are honorable mention at 3. But but like I said, you touched on the exact most important aspect of how his scheme is run is when they rotate positions, it seems seamless, which goes down to the overall design of your practice schedule regimen. You know what I mean? And I think that team's got a lot of good things going. I wish I knew more about how Green Bay was running, their practices. Obviously, it's very hush-hush. Matt LaFleur has a lot to prove this season, so I'm sure he's, basically sleeping in his office. But, man, I just want to see the same level of consistency when we rotate players, man. And I think that's not too much to ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you said sleeping in the office, you made me think about Ben Johnson.
Go ahead, tell the story. Tell it, man.
I can't remember the whole entire story clearly, but it's the fact that that's how dedicated Ben Johnson. It was a cause of concern at just for about a week or so when he got called in his office. This was early in the morning. He was knocked out. Normally he's working out, but he stayed overnight in his office. And one of the Chicago medias, ESPN Chicago, they were saying that it was a cause of concern because, man, you need to go home and get some sleep. And that was a cause of concern for just thinking man, you got a wife and 2 young children at the house. I get it, you dedicated, you're a mastermind, but sometimes you need to get you a little bit more than 3 or 4 hours of sleep. A little bit more.
I don't think Michael Myers gives a single fuck about how much sleep he's getting right now, bro.
I know he don't. Not right. Well, here's the thing. It's preseason.
It is. There's a time and place for sure.
Now during the season. Oh, I'm locked in. In. You see what I'm saying? And so you can. I know maybe he's trying to. I don't know what he's doing, but maybe it's just get some rest, man. Because the reason I say that the Chicago media was concerned about his health of not getting any sleep and not. You see what I'm saying? So you made me think about it when you said about sleep. Yeah,
I feel so that. And then while we're talking about sleep, let's get into our last topic for the day because this is one of those fucking headlines that blew my goddamn mind. 49ers owner Jed York caught soliciting prostitution. What the fuck? I got specifics here, dude. So,
Jed York. Yeah.
So, dude, honestly, I don't know where he's from. His family also owns 2 soccer leagues, one Premier team and another team. But so he was caught trying to get $160 trick for 1 hour of sexual activity. Excuse me. And get this. The name of the city he got caught in is called East Palestine, Ohio. Take that as what you will. Kind of crazy ass fucking name, right? And the way he got caught was he responded to an undercover sting, right? And it was like an online ad for, you know how these OnlyFans girls do, soliciting, hey, meet me, yada, yada, yada. And he responded back and forth, and then they ghosted him. And so I guess this guy was obviously under the influence of some form of narcotics or something. Like, you don't just do this. He goes, hey, I'm on the way. I'm on the way, yo. Kano, what's up, Kano? Welcome to the chat, dude. Thank you so much for popping in the stream, brother. Love you, man. Dude, W stream, bro. We're just talking football right now. But back to Jed York. dude, why, if you're worth fucking billions of dollars, why are you in East Palestine, Ohio, trying to turn $160 trick with a fucking random ass trailer park girl? And the trailer park was, also notable to him. So obviously this is a huge controversy with him. He filed for divorce back in May, and that shit has not been settled. So this is gonna cook him in the divorce proceedings, especially with the 49ers already dealing with record injuries, dude. There's just some fucked up shit going on with that power station. Lon, what are your thoughts on that, man?
2 words. He's cooked.
He's cooked. 100%, dude.
No, that's the only thing I can say, man, because they have evidence.
Yeah.
And like you said, the courts, they already involved. I'm sure his ex-wife was soon to be ex-wife.
Oh, she saw that headline and she's like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was on, dude.
Here's the thing. She finna get some money.
Oh, she's gonna take at least half of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at minimum.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more, honestly.
Probably.
Especially, if she didn't sign a prenup either. Like, I don't know what the specifics are, but
right.
that's terrible,
True.
yeah. Yeah, Kano, he is cooked for real, though, bro. He is absolutely cooked, Kano. Much love, brother. Much love, dude. Go ahead, Levon. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. But like I said, she getting all that. She getting everything. It might be a Tom Brady type situation. Or something
it totally
like
could be. It totally could be, dude. And I mean, to be real though, Tom Brady was smart and he had the assets in his mom name. I don't think Jed York was smart enough to do that. And especially with the 49ers as an organization having so much controversy with players like Brandon Ayuk, the injury to all these players, multiple ACL tears, and like that whole substation, conspiracy theory has a lot of legs right now. Maybe it's affecting people's psyche. I'm not going to go too deep in the conspiracy theories, but I think that this is just an overall embarrassing look as an owner of an NFL franchise.
Yes.
Especially considering, bro, you could just go to fucking Thailand and go do your shit privately. Why are we leaving an online digital paper trail? And I'm not going to go into speculation, but this is just fucking trash, man. He's cooked, bro. You're not lying.
This New York Jets.
The New York Jets, what do you mean?
I mean, not New York. I'm seeing the 49ers owner. I see Jed. I'm thinking Jets.
Jed York.
I'm shocked, honestly, at the 49ers. I'm shocked is they normally have a great foundation when it comes to ownership, GMs, normally a stable head coaching job. For many decades. We can go back to Walsh back in the days in the 80s.
That's facts.
They normally be stable, but hey, we all are humans, and sometimes, man, even billionaires, when he doing it in the dark, ain't he going through something at the same time?
I mean, he's going through something. I think it's a lot of cocaine, bro. But I mean, dude, like I said, dude, you gotta be in a dark place to even like extend yourself to this overall exposition. And dude, like as a 49ers fan, because I fucking hate the 49ers as a Green Bay Packers fan. If you know anything about the Packers and 49ers, you know exactly the fuck why. Because fuck the 49ers. But man, dude, you just gotta grow up and be a big boy, man. You got all this money and you're getting caught slipping like this. Either A, you need to go into some sort of rehab or kind of readdress these things. And B, how do you think these players feel to be playing on a team owned by this?
Absolutely. That was the next point I was gonna make.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like this is not good for team morale. The 49ers have had their Super Bowl appearance like two years ago, got their asses kicked, but I mean, like, dude, this doesn't trend upward, especially with all the injuries they got going on. Final thoughts, Vaughn, then we'll wrap this up with our last topic.
Man, I'm ready to I'm ready for the game, the season to go ahead and get started. But I'm excited. Football's in play. I know all our guys who part of the Spike Podcast crew.
Shout out to all the boys.
Yep, and girl.
Olympia will make her appearance at some point this season, I'm sure. Especially with this.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to her, and I tell you offline.
Okay, we'll talk about it offline, dude.
Yeah.
But let's move on to our final little topic, dude. Our Week 3 preseason matchups. So obviously, I'll say this, and then we'll kick it to you and we'll wrap those things up. The Green Bay Packers have a unique scenario this week because we go up against the Arizona Cardinals. Little known fact, well, not little known fact, but fact is, Matt LaFleur is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. His little brother, Mike LaFleur, is the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. This is literally our test thing. And I think we have a joint practice coming up on Thursday prior to the game. I believe we play Friday night at 8 p.m. I just want to see, I would love to see Jordan Love get maybe 2 drives this time instead of the 1. I just want to see us kind of tighten in. I'm not sure what their status is as far as what players are going to be there, but I just want to see more growth. I think that obviously one of our highlights needs to be getting Tyrod Taylor on board. Maybe I don't know if him or Matt LaFleur and Stinovich are kind of scheming up some stuff for him, but there's a lot of room for growth, especially as far as our second string players are concerned. So I'll keep it short and sweet, man. I just hope to see some growth in the Packers. We got this gap before week 1 starts. We go to Minnesota, but I feel pretty good about the things we got cooking, and I'm looking forward to see how this matchup goes. Who do you guys got, Levon, for your next?
We got Tennessee Titans, man. Let me tell you this. I meant to say this earlier. We got Tennessee Titans, and so. This was about 2 weeks ago. I was watching it. I wanted to say this part so bad. The Chicago Bears media team put out a video where, and you probably saw it. I think you responded to it. You was like, "Man, your DBs got cooked by."
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, this is horrible." And my thing is, you play like you practice.
Absolutely.
So. I guess they heard the complaints, and they came back after all the complaints. They came back with a defensive back video. I was like, no.
Yeah, it don't really hit the same. It don't really hit
the same. No, it hit the same. I didn't hit the same. And don't get me wrong, we have some great receivers and tight ends.
Yeah, for sure.
I can understand if they mixed it together. Like, if offense got to play, or defense got to play. I was like, okay, they going head to head. But just the perception, the eye test was like, getting cooked.
I mean, is that a concern you have with Dennis Allen? I mean, I know last week we talked about it. He doesn't really have a lot of pieces to work with. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on what his scheme's got to adapt to accommodate the weaknesses in his players?
So before I get to that's if we get cooked by Tennessee, and I'm sure half our defensive backs are hurt, and then we had to bring in some, like I say, some players from other teams. If we get cooked, I wouldn't be surprised. That leaves me. It's because we're hurt. We're not healthy. We're not healthy. defensive back squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, if Dennis Allen going to have to dig in his bag,
absolutely,
a little bit more, and because he don't have his pieces.
I don't think he has the pieces too, but I will say he's doing a lot with little. I think that it was the correct decision to keep him on. Maybe in this draft, you guys didn't really attack defense too strong, but depending on the outcome of this season, maybe he can get some stud players up front, dude. Last question, then we'll wrap this thing up. We've been going for about 42 minutes or so. What do you want to see from the Chicago Bears in your matchup this week?
Yeah, absolutely. What I want to see the continuation of I'm not for sure if Caleb is going to start or the starter's going to start, but they should get at least a couple drives.
Yeah, I think so too.
To continue the continuity of the game speed, So I would like to see that. And I also like to see, you got to remember, before I say this, you got to remember there's about to be some people cut. I think the deadline is September 1st?
Is that the deadline for it?
I think it's the deadline. I think it's September, like next Monday.
Okay.
Something like that. But it's people need to show, if they trying to get on the squad, they need to work their tail off. And that's all I want to see. I want to see high speed, pad level, smack you in the mouth type football. Hey, we black and blue division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I want to see that against Tennessee, who I think we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't really count here nor there. I totally get that, dude. I totally get that, dude. See, honestly, you have the exact same thing. What you want to see is your players kind of rise to the occasion and play some good old American football, especially some black and blue division football, dude.
Yeah.
And I know that he's not going to play this upcoming week against the Cardinals, but one of the things I'm the most excited to see is Tucker Kraft come back from injury. Tucker Kraft, and I think last season he was on track to be the best tight end in the NFL. To be real,
he's still hurt, man.
No, he's back. He's back week 1. He's already cleared. He's in 11 on 11s, and he said, dude, like his number one thing is he's still showing up to practice, and his contract's not even negotiated. He's still doing the things he needs to do because he loves the Green Bay organization. And he had a couple statements the other day, and he just said, basically, dude, I love this team. I don't give a shit about my contract negotiations. I'm going to do what's best for us to win football games. And that's the mindset that I like to see, especially with the coaching changes we made with Cam Acorn, Jonathan Gannon, like this fire. we need like a focal point for the Flame to kind of hit the sizzle. And I'm excited to see the Green Bay Packers play some good football this week on Friday. And I'm so excited for the outcome of the season. Also, all the guys in the chat, Kano, Corey, everybody else, dude, thank you guys so much for being here. Levon, final thoughts, and we're going to wrap this thing up, brother.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Chicago, Tennessee, I think we can beat them. I know it's preseason. Hey, we can beat them 40. It's about
Bullshit. But okay. Yeah, dude. But okay, man. So like I said, dude, I just want to see the Packers grow. I'm excited to see Tucker Kraft come back, dude. This is our new format for live shows going forward. We're going to try to get you guys more interactive. Thank you guys so much for being here in the chat. Kano, love you. Corey, fuck the Lions, but love you, Papa. And we're going to have some good things going forward. Levon, thank you for taking the time to come on and do the show. We're going to be back next week.
Everybody
fuck
say
the
it
Bears.
with me. Everybody say with me.
Fuck that. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. You guys have a good one, dudes. Fucking idiot.